There's never been a fear to be online dressed like this. There's never really, there was an initial, the fear, the biggest part, the biggest obstacle that I had to overcome was doing this in front of people because I was always afraid of what someone would say to me, and I always felt like they would say something that would hurt my feelings. And in the beginning, there were a few statements that were said that hurt my feelings, and the people that said it never knew that they hurt my feelings because I never told them that they were hurting my feelings. Because I feel like why do that, right? Why make it into a bigger situation than what it is? But I was always, there was a level of shame that I felt like somebody's going to say the right combination of words that's going to hurt my feelings, and I don't know how I'm going to react in a situation like that. And so that was part of the fear, right? There was also the, oh, you're going to get jumped, you're going to get fought, all the physical violence that you hear that people experience, right? But one thing is, I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I sense danger or feel danger. And I trust my intuition enough, and I trust my intelligence and my spirit enough to know that whatever needs to happen will happen, right? So I start dressing more full time, like ear makeup, all of that. And what has happened is I've noticed that the biggest thing that I experience most of the time in situations is people staring. Like that's the biggest thing. Like you get a lot of people giving you the 1-2 eye, trying to figure out what it is that they're looking at. And that was the biggest thing. And I kind of had a problem with that until much recently. I was outside on my phone, and a mother, I didn't know at the time, but a mother walked by to pick up her son who was, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, very, very, very young. And he's like jumping and bouncing and jumping and bouncing. And he turns and looks at me and just goes still. And I realized it was wonder and amazement that I saw in his eyes. And the mother spoke and waved and encouraged the young child to wave and speak, and the child just stuck a finger in their mouth and just kept looking. And I was thinking, that child is no different than anybody else that looks at you. It's the wonder, it's the amazement. There's so much going through their mind that they're not triggered into violence, or they're not triggered into anger. Like anybody that's triggered into violence, that just speaks to somebody who vibrationally I probably wouldn't even be in their presence to begin with. Now, people online, of course, they're going to say whatever, drop down in the comments and use derogatory words. But you're behind a veil. Like, I don't know who you are. You don't have a profile picture. You don't have a name. Like, most of the time I just feel like they're rage baiting for the attention, because they see that you're going to get attention. They see that people are going to give praise, because they do, with the likes and the resharing and the reposting. And so they want to be the one to just rage bait people into whatever, what have you, for a ride, for the same wonder and amazement that I'm willing to show. So it's been exciting. Like, I realize that far too often there are a lot of people that like to intellectualize their feelings and emotions, where it causes them to go into this point of just being an observer. But the problem with just being an observer is the wisdom that you think that you are giving off really isn't wisdom, because you really haven't lived through the situation enough to be able to really share an experience that people are going to resonate with. You're just regurgitating, the same way cows do, whatever it is that was taught to you, in hopes that maybe it would stick with them. But you don't have the confidence to walk in your faith and just be a part of the action. And so me actively going outside and going to the beach and going to the movies and going to the store, I find that it gets more comfortable. It gets a lot more easier every day. And I enjoy it. I enjoy the amazement and wonder that people display when they look at me. But what I enjoy the most is when that one person pulls me to the side and says, I too have a wig or makeup, or want to do the same thing and just are afraid, or I inspire them to go do something that they've always wanted to do and they've been fearful of it. So to me, I'm thinking, me being myself has allowed a lot of people to continue to be themselves. And that is a success that we look for in our lifetime, is to inspire people to feel comfortable and feel confident to share what makes them unique. So this is my journey, and I love it, and I'm glad that you're here.